It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, today I want to discuss another story that our industry apparently is ignoring, and that story is around Bob Goldberg. And we know that Bob Goldberg is the lawyer that sits on the board of the BTA, and he's the lawyer for the industry. That's how he's dubbed, the lawyer for the industry. If you're a BTA member, you're allowed to use some of Bob Goldberg's services. That's kind of a perk. And ladies and gentlemen, Bob's been doing this for a long time, and I've congratulated Bob on his tenure many times, even when I spoke at the BTA. You know, it's a fantastic service. But here's the reality, and this isn't about Bob Goldberg making a mistake. This is about the industry not addressing the mistake Bob made. This is about the industry kind of hiding this under the rug. And so in 2017, there was a lawsuit, a malpractice lawsuit, that went to the appellate court. It was between Bob Goldberg and a dealer. A dealer was suing Bob Goldberg for malpractice. And that case was going to the appellate court. It went to the appellate court in 2017. And in 2023, the appellate court affirmed the decision of the lower court. And the judgment against Bob Goldberg was $700K. I'm not going to get into the case or the details of the case. I'll put a link to the case. You can all read this. But I want our industry to understand something. Okay? We have got to be able to talk about the good and the bad. For a long time, I've been a little bit upset with our industry's analysts and media. I mean, I jab them when I can, have some fun with that. But at the end of the day, I'm starting to realize that we don't really have an industry analyst and media platform. I mean, we really don't, folks. And I'm not saying this to be mean to all those folks. I'm saying it as a reality. What we have is brochure writers. Seriously. They write brochures. You're never going to open up a Ricoh brochure and it's going to say, the document feeder on the Toshiba is so much better. I mean, you're not. You're never going to open up the Ricoh brochure and they're going to talk about how maybe their operating profits in the toilet this year. Okay? Or their cash flow sucks. I mean, they're not going to say that in the brochure. And our industry's analysts and media, well, they just write brochures for the industry. Whether those brochures are written for dealers or OEMs, software companies, leasing companies, there's never anything in there that is going to make you think, is this something I should be concerned about? And that's really the platform for the end of the day with Ray. And through my naivety, I guess, I really thought that the industry would want to embrace the stuff that was negative, embrace the stuff that was a threat, so they could prepare those dealers for an ever-changing world. But after 5 years of doing this, I realized that's never going to happen. Does anybody not find it bizarre that the Visual Edge IT saga has not been written or talked about by any platform in our entire industry? And that story that I broke was a month old now. Don't you all find that amazing? And you never will. Don't you all find it kind of amazing that the story about Bob Goldberg is not really out there? This isn't about digging on Bob Goldberg. This is about a reality that we need to be paying attention to. I mean, if you're getting services because you joined the BTA and those services are delivered by the lawyer of the BTA who sits on the board of the BTA, and that lawyer has a malpractice judgment against him, I think that's important information. And this doesn't mean that, hey, look, everybody makes a mistake. Everybody does things that aren't perfect all the time. We all get that. But we got to be able to talk about it. Personally, I believe this case would have made a great session at a BTA meeting. I believe that we could have shared the whole damn thing. This is where we went right. This is where we went wrong. This is a great lesson. Maybe you're planning that. Who knows, Bob? But at the end of the day, why do we ignore it? Because it's just something that is upsetting? A lot of people tell me, Ray, we love the show, we love the content, but boy, your delivery sometimes. And I got to just be honest with you, folks. I believe the delivery is why you all watch the show, to be quite honest with you. But do you all know what the 5 steps of the sale are? The first step is attention. Attention! Attention, interest, conviction, desire, close. My job's to get your attention. That attention is the delivery mechanism. But I want to explain the delivery mechanism is a little bit different, so maybe it can help you all out. So it was my birthday, last week, and I got a card from my mom. And mothers, they still like to mail out the real card thing, right? They go to the Hallmark store, they buy the card, they put it in the envelope, mail it. And I get this card, and look at this envelope. This envelope looks like pure shit. I mean, it's crap. It's disgusting. Can you imagine if I got this from my mom? What a piece of crap that. It looks terrible. What a presentation. It was terrible. But no, I opened it up, and it was about the message of the card. It had nothing to do with the delivery. As a matter of fact, because it was all wrinkled up and stuff, it stood out in the stack of status quo mail. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just need you to think about it. If you don't like the delivery, just don't watch the show. But I also want you all to start challenging the industry's media analysts, because we need them to go a little bit beyond just writing brochures. We need them to talk about the dock feeder that doesn't work, if you will. And at the end of the day, if together as an industry, we're not afraid to talk about the threats, guess what? Well, we'll probably get through those challenges and those threats. But if we're afraid to talk about them, well, the threats and challenges will just bury us. I'll do everything I can to make sure none of my friends that sell supply and service print equipment ever get buried. And the other thing I'll tell you is this. I'll never be Dick Cavett. I'm not going to sit in that chair and just read the news to you and hope you all stay awake. That's not my platform. There might be platforms out there that put you to sleep, but I assure you, it'll never be the end of the day with Ray, because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.